Hey, Buff Nation, voice of the boss, Mark Johnson here. Coming up this week in the Buffalo Stampede, the Colorado football team with a victory in the desert over Arizona State, 27-24. We're going to recap with Coach Gary Barnett and former quarterback Bobby Passavento, and we're going to hear from Coach Prime and quarterback Shedeur Sanders. The soccer team had a tough weekend against the Bay Area schools in Boulder. Volleyball splitting against the Oregon schools. We're going to hear from head coach Jesse Mahoney and his team all this week in the Buffalo Stampede.
Kick is up. It is on its way, and it is good. 12 seconds remaining. Alejandro gives Colorado the lead.
Well, it came down to a game-winning field goal in 20 seconds. Alejandro Mata, 43 yards out, and the Buffaloes get the win to improve the 4-2 of the season. Now, everybody, welcome to the Buffalo Stampede. Voice of the bus, Mark Johnson, Coach Gary Barnett. We had the radio broadcast, and well, that was a heck of a ball game. Back and forth and up and down. It wasn't the smoothest thing, but all wins are beautiful, aren't they?
You know what? We hadn't had one.
Right.
Hadn't had one where you kick a field goal and win the game. We've done everything else. But so we needed this for our resume.
Yeah, well, our
great game.
You know, we talked about Colorado getting off to a better start in this one. They've been awful slow. You had the numbers early in our broadcast about how they were in the first quarter. It didn't happen today. But this team stayed with it and continued chugging along and found a way.
It did, and they all confessed afterwards that it sure wasn't their best effort, and they don't know what they did wrong, but they got to go work on getting it fixed start faster. And it's funny, Arizona State started really fast, and then their MO has been to score no points in the third and fourth quarter, and that's just the way it played out for them. We happened to find enough in the second half to do something with it, but man, the first half was a grind, Mark. It was a grind.
5 more sacks on the Buffaloes. Quarterback Shedeur Sanders has been sacked now 30 times this season in only 6 games, by the way. The record is 54. Not that he wants to get there. He was under duress all that long and still found a way to make some big plays.
I tell you, I'm becoming more and more respectful for him every week I see him play. And he takes 5 sacks. He gets flushed. He has to run it a couple of times. He stands in and makes some throws that are big league throws. And he said it all when we talked to him afterwards. And you said, we thought you might come out conservative. He says, we have 50 seconds and me back there. What do you think we're going to do? So, but I'll tell you, the guy can play. Yeah. He can play. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, that play's referring to 50 seconds left. Buffs get it first down at 25, and he goes for a long catch by Javon Antonio. We'll talk more about him, by the way, in a moment. He was a big part of this victory. The Buffs get a 27-24 win of Arizona State. Afterward, we heard from Coach Pride.
Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Celebrate responsibly.
Wonderful win. Play like hot garbage. You know, I'm trying to figure this out. Sick of it. I really am. I'm sick of us coming out here and putting forth the effort we put forth in the first half. We've for the practices, we've had really diligent meetings, and we're trying to figure this out. I'm sorry, I'm happy about the win, but I'm not happy in the fashion that we wanted in. We're better than that. We really are better than that, and we got to start showing that. I expect to win, and I expect to win in a better fashion than that. I'm sick of these consistent holes that we're displaying and the penalties and the things that we're doing. We're so much better. I apologize for my anger today, but I don't accept mediocrity.
There's Coach Prime after the Buffs get the victory here in Tempe, Arizona, improving to 4-2 in the season and 1-2 in Pac-12 conference play. Got Stanford coming to town on Friday night. I mentioned Javon Antonio. Here's a guy that hadn't got a lot of action this season. Last week in practice, they moved him to tight end. I'm not sure he was terribly happy about it. He went out and had a big part of this game.
Well, I think part of that was O'Marion Miller had such a big game the week before, and they wanted to get them both on the field, or tried to at the same time, and so we really planned with just Mike and Harrison. We needed another tight end. We play with 2 of those sometimes. And I was watching Tim Brewster telling him to bend his knees a little bit more, and he didn't really have to get the stance, but he had to get, and his body language was not fun. But, he stayed in there, and lo and behold, they put him in the game. the first week he's played, and he becomes the guy who made all the plays. So I admire Deion Sanders for believing in those kids as much as he does and playing so many of them.
Yeah, he plays a lot of kids at various positions and kind of puts them out there and kind of lets him sink or swim. If it doesn't work out, he'll bring him out, but he's got a tendency of doing that. One of the big plays this ball game. Special teams was not special for Colorado in many respects. They got the game winner, but there was a long 51-yard punt return by Xavier Weaver set up a score at a key moment this game.
Key moment, and I think he just tripped over the grass. He said he started to smile because he thought he had a touchdown and tripped. But Mata, the punt return, almost a 50-yard average in punting. So we had some ugly marks, but we also had some really good things happen to us in special.
How about the defensive side of the ball this ball game?
You know, I struggled watching him a little bit, Mark, because we kept getting that same pick drag route run on us in key situations. We didn't get any pressure on the quarterback. But you know what? Every single game, they don't quit. They keep playing. And, you know, good things have happened to us most of the time.
Yep.
So, you know, it's not what you draw up and what you want, but these guys play hard, and they play a lot of guys again like they do on offense. So you got to give them credit. I do.
Yeah, without question. They always say there are no ugly victories. The Buffs got with 27-24 with Stanford coming to town on Friday night. Coming up next year to Stampede, we're going to talk with their Saturday reporter, former quarterback, Bobby Passamento.
Takes it, steps up. He's going to run. Cuts out to his left. Tries to get around the defender to 10 at the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Colorado!
There's the touchdown run. Third one of the season. Second one in as many weeks by Shedeur Sanders. He also had one throwing as the Buffs get a hard-fought win, 27-24 over Arizona State here in Tempe. Back at the Stampede, voice of the West Mark Johnson. Our quarterback, Bobby Passamento, out there. Well, I was like pulling a log uphill the entire ball game, wasn't it?
That was a tough game.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think they can take a lot from this game because of how difficult it was. I mean, the first half was a struggle. We couldn't put any pressure on their passer. We couldn't move the ball on offense. I mean, it was a tough game, but, you know, so much credit to these kids and their perseverance and how hard they play, and they stick this thing out. And, you know, when you got number 2 back there, I think you're always in the game. Yeah. So, and that's a good thing.
Oh, without question. The problem is he's taken far too many hits. I mean, he put up some numbers today, not huge numbers, but effective numbers. And the fact that he got sacked 5 times this ballgame, Bobby, that's 30 on the season on him now. 31 total against the Buffalo. The Colorado record's 54. That's not a record you want to get to, and you can't keep putting him on the ground like that.
No, way too many hits, right? And I think because of all those hits, it probably makes him a little reluctant to use his feet more, and he can be pretty good at it. So we got to do a better job of either shoring up the offensive line or getting the ball out of his hands a lot faster, or a combination of each, because we got to keep that guy healthy.
Coach Prime wasn't happy after this ball game. He was not pleased on many respects. Players, coaches, you know, he's trying to figure this thing out. You're 6 games in, or 4-2, which is an awful nice record, but there's a lot of improvement for this team.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot they can get better at, but, you know, I think he's frustrated at the players, the coaches, but I would imagine they're all frustrated too.
Sure.
Right? Because they know how much talent they have, and he keeps saying, you know, we haven't put offense, defense, special teams together in one game yet. So I think there's a lot more here for them, but there's definitely some frustration right now.
Inconsistency of problem here. Now, what's interesting about this is how it seems like every game somebody else steps up. Last week was Amari Miller. Today, Javon Antonio comes out of nowhere and has a big ball game. That's the interesting part. No matter who the opposition tries to shut down, seems like we've got one answer out there.
That's a really good problem to have.
Yeah.
We got a lot of weapons out there, right? And it seems like if one guy goes down, all of a sudden we find out, hey, we got another pretty good player here. So we need more footballs to go around.
Yeah.
With.
The quarterback, though, has not been a problem. He's been outstanding, under duress, still making big plays, and we heard from number 2 after the game.
Powered by Ford. Cars, trucks, and SUVs built for America. Built Ford proud.
Know what time it is. They left too much time on the clock, and we knew that. Nobody on the sideline panicked, flinched. Nobody didn't believe. The coaches just knew like what was going to happen, and I definitely knew what was going to happen because you're going to do what it takes to win. But they simply left too much time on the clock, and you know what mode we went. We went Brady mode / legendary mode. Now we got a lot of great receivers, even some of the players I wasn't able to get on the field today, so it's just about who's going and whose day it is. They rotate a lot, and we all know they're going to double team Xavier Weaver. That's to try to take him out the game. So it's just the next guy got to step up. Really just taking accountability of what's going on in the game. You know, I'm holding the ball a little bit too long, not really going do everything. Not basically playing perfect. So that's all it was. And then I'm on the sideline frustrated, and it's like, it's time. You know, it's time to do whatever it takes to win. And by any means, you could take matters in your own hands. You got the will, you got it inside of you. At that point, it was, okay, cool. Let's go legendary mode. Let's lock in. Let's do it.
Shedeur Sanders after the ball game had a passing touchdown, rushing touchdown, and he put them in position to get the game-winning field goal. Late in the contest, 50 seconds remaining. Buffs get the ball first down at Denver the 25. You're thinking, okay, maybe conservative. He told us afterward on the post-game, he said, what are you kidding me? You got 50 seconds and I'm out there. Why go conservative? You love that kind of confidence.
Love that attitude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you want as your leader, right?
Yeah.
You're in that position. Give me the ball. Let's go win it.
This team now goes back home. You got Stanford coming in on Friday nights. Can they find some answers by next Friday? I mean,
you know, you would like to think so.
Yeah.
But they got to go watch film. They got to see where the mistakes were. They got to find out how to clean it up. And they just got to keep grinding. I mean, you know, wins are wins are wins. I don't care what it looks like at the end of the day, right? You know, there's that old saying, there's no picture on a scorecard, right? As long as you get that W. So, but they do have some improvement to do, and hopefully they can figure it out in a short week.
you know, they're not going to face the same kind of offense as we saw against Oregon and Stanford. The defense has got its issues right now. And I don't know that you fix this, but you do just got to start shoring up some of the holes, right?
Yeah, and I don't know what the answer is right now because it seems like they're not pressuring the quarterback enough. When teams want to run in between the tackles, they're able to do that, right? And then when they want to throw it down the field, that they have some holes there. But you know, hopefully we can keep being opportunistic and create turnover because we have been good at that. But it would make life a lot easier if they could shore up the defense and not rely on all those turnovers.
That's one of the things about this team, and I don't know where that quality comes from, because if you look at the numbers on the defensive side, not so much on the offensive side, you don't see a lot of positives in there. But it is the fact that this team makes plays when they need to. Getting a tackle, no turnovers tonight. They've done that on a regular basis. So it does say this team does have that penchant in it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's what it's all about. Make the play when you need to make the play. So, and maybe they got their backs up against the wall a little more than they want to, but they do step up when they need to.
So the Buffaloes get the win, 27-24 as they knock off Arizona State here at Stampede. That's quarterback Bobby Passavetto coming up next. We're going to hear more from the head coach, Coach Prime, in a moment.
Back David Priest slashes in right side. Shira James gets a shot away, and Shira James has scored in 7 consecutive matches for the Buffaloes.
Shira James with her 11th goal of the season got the night started for Colorado, but the Buffaloes' upset bid of a number 3 Stanford came up short at Princeton Field. The Cardinal battled back with 3 unanswered goals and came away with a 3-1 decision on Thursday. CU went on to play Cal on Sunday, ending in a 1-1 draw. Back in the Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Let's get back to some football. That nice win in the desert for Coach Prime of the Buffaloes. And again, it was a comeback win. And Shedeur Sanders, the highest-rated quarterback in the country in the fourth quarter, did it again. Got the late field goal by Alejandro Mata. And afterward, we heard more from Coach Prime and QB1.
Hershey pushed the foot to it. Spiraling punt. Good boot this time. Weaver back, takes it to 25, runs out to his left, gets a nice block, 10 to 30, 35, 40-yard line up the sideline,
50-yard line, down the sideline, cuts inside, stumbles, and he's down at the 25. Oh, he was an eyelash.
I've delivered every type of message you could fathom. It's not just the team. This is all of us. This is me and the coaches included. It's not just the team. They glean from us. He's upset with the way it's going. He's upset with hit after hit after hit. You think he's happy being the most sacked guy in the in college football, and he's still doing what he's capable of doing? He's sick of it. Every drive is key. Every drive is key. He always does this. You've seen this every darn week, man. This ain't new to you. You've seen this every week. You see him do this every week. It's like we waiting on him to put on his cape and do what he does. That's what he does every week. You guys should be accustomed to it by now.
Because that losing's just not in me, you know? So it's like, if we got a chance, we're going to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's not too late in the game, we're going to win. So it's just understanding what's at stake, understanding what's going on, understanding the pros, the cons, on what we're doing, what we're not doing good, what we're doing good, and, you know, really taking over and taking control. So me personally, my body language is chill. I'm not really a super hype guy. I'm not a over-the-top type of guy. So I feel like sometimes the team don't see that in me, that I'm ready, because that's just naturally how I am as a person. So we really just had to activate that dog, that fire in you, to show everybody, hey, look, we them guys. Like, we those guys that could get out there and just do whatever we want to do. So that was really the thing, and really is just like a scare tactic. They know I'm going to lower my shoulder, so they're not going to think anything sweet with me.
Balls to the wall, puts it down. Mata, kick is up. It is on its way, and it is good! 12 seconds remaining. Alejandro gives Colorado the lead.
Yeah, I want him to do his thing. Yeah, Mata is Mata. I mean, guys, you didn't believe in Mata. I believe in Mata. Why do you think I brought him here? Mata don't miss. You call the timeout and freeze him all you want. That don't mean nothing to Mata. Mata, that's who he is. And that's what he always says to me when I walk over to him and give him a hug. He said, I don't miss. And I love it. So I told him to do your thing. Do your thing. Get your shine on. It's your moment, baby. Live it. That's what I told him. I'm not changing. So you got to meet my expectations. And that starts in practice. That starts in film study. That starts in preparation. That starts in coaching. That starts all the way down the board. Ain't just the kids. It's everybody. I have lofty expectations for this team, for this school, for this university. I really do. And we're going to get there.
Sanders thought about going to Weaver. He'll step up. Sanders this time tries to lower his shoulder.
I don't even know if it registered. Because how you got a quarterback that's not known for running, lowering his shoulder and runs over a guy, it should be 3 linemen there to help him up, shouldn't it? Didn't see that. That shit right there, that should make you want to say, oh my God, our quarterback ain't no joke, he's a dog. No, didn't see it.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't even remember the first, second drive, third drive. I don't remember that half of the game. Because it's just so much, like the quarterback position is just so much thinking and so much just brain power you use that a lot of people don't really understand that you're using. Like, when you get in that mode, you're using like 100% of your brain. So it's a lot. Y'all knew when the game was close, we a second half team. Y'all already knew that. So I'm sure everybody that been a Buff supporter, y'all knew the outcome of the game. But we just can't afford to keep doing that. You know, good teams come and it's going to catch up.
So we'll take those flare-out routes.
Hankerson, the handoff again, wrestled down by 2 defenders, but another first down.
Hank is a dog, man. Hank is a great kid, runs the ball hard, keeps his shoulder down. I wish he could have came up with that catch at the end. We would be maybe a different tone in his whole press conference. But Hank's been a dog, man. He's been a valuable asset to what we're trying to accomplish.
Snap to Bourget, drops, steps up in the pocket. He's flushed, grabbed from behind, and sacked that time by Derek McClendon.
Now, we have the talent, man. We have some talented young men. We have some talented people inside this locker room. We just got to put it all together. And I'm sorry with my impatience. I don't have patience for too much in life. You can ask my kids.
Get off the field to give their offense one more chance here. Here's Sanders. Time in the pocket. Sanders steps up, drops it off. It's Antonio with the clutch catch on the sideline.
Pops don't even talk to me that much during the game, you know. He lets me be me because, you know, I've been living with him my whole life. So it's like he can tell me anything I haven't heard before. So it's really, I just look down the sideline, just seeing everybody body language, the coaches and everybody, and they knew what time it was. So it was just like, it was a perfect time.
First down and 10 with the 25. Sanders drops pressure off the backside. He's going to go for the home run down the left side. And the grab is made by Antonio at the 33-yard line. And he's down deep inside Arizona State territory.
So the nice one with the football team is now they get set for a Friday night game under the lights at Folsom Field against the Stanford Cardinal. Coming up next in the Stampede, we're talking volleyball as the Buffs get a split versus the Oregon schools. We're going to hear from the head coach, Jesse Mahoney, and his team.
Simpson lifts that up. Well, contact lets the Buffs reset. Lexi Hadrich puts Colorado up.
Colorado volleyball started the weekend with a tough loss to Oregon on Thursday night. Buffaloes were led offensively by outside hitters Lexi Hadrich and Maya Tabron, as well as middle blocker Sky Howard. All 3 of them earning 8 kills, but not enough to overcome a Big Ducks lineup that is now in 3rd place in the loaded Pac-12 Conference. Back at the Stampede, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Then on Sunday, it was the Buffs and Beavers at the event center. Colorado dropping the first set, took sets 2 and 3, and then really challenged in the 4th before finishing things off in the 5th set. Again, the Buffaloes with the victory led by Lexi Hadrich. And afterward, we heard from head coach Jesse Mahoney and the graduate student.
there's no bad teams in this league, and Oregon State, I thought, played really well. I mean, they hit 330 for the match. That being said, we have not played a set of volleyball as bad as that first set all season. Kudos to our team for regrouping in set 2, and I thought the middle of set 2 on was really good. We gave away the first one, and that's why we had to go into the 5th set. But we played well at the ends, and my hope is that we use this experience as a learning experience. We understand some of the things that we talk about day in and day out in terms of making the most of our practice opportunities. The knowledge that the margins on this game are really thin, and when we have an opportunity to be disciplined, we need to take it. So happy for the win, but we have some work to do, especially going on the road against top 10 team and another top 30 team.
Because that first set was not us, and we just said we have to restart our mentality. We have to get energy going, because that first set does not reflect how we should be playing. So we just had to change our mentality about that.
Yeah, I think coming down to it, it just really was an individual game for every person in the first game. We weren't really playing together as a team. And I think, like she said, like a mentality change needed to happen, and it needed to just be everyone getting 1% better and doing their job. And I think we ended up doing that, but still taking it to a 5th set, we didn't, execute how we should be executing.
I think we got into a groove of getting good passes, getting good sets, and Taylor can locate a set like no other, and she just put it up there.
Yeah, a big focus of mine has been hitting high hands, especially on my slides. And so with Taylor finding me and just being able to locate that set really well, it's been easy to hit. She makes it looks easy. She's a good setter.
I will say honestly, the matchup, her against Lexi, I would take all day, all the time, and I thought Lexi made some really nice moves and didn't get her. We forced her to hit exactly where we wanted to, and we just didn't defend it the way we needed to. Kudos to her. I mean, she hits the ball hard and tall, and we didn't do our job collectively. We did our job everywhere else, though.
Well, nice victory there for the volleyball team. Now the Buffaloes are on to Seattle to take on Washington this weekend. That'll put a wrap this week at the Buffalo Stampede. I'm voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Don't forget, football on Friday night, Colorado and Stanford, 8 o'clock to kick off under the lights. We're going to hit the air on the Colorado Football Network at 6 with the Buffalo Stampede pregame show. We'll be out on Dwayne Field. Come on out and say hi. Thanks for joining us once again. We'll talk to you next time.